Hey guys, Michael from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I have a video for you today on an EDC sheath that I just made for this Mora Eldris. And if you guys aren't already familiar with the Eldris, you should check it out and consider it for a small multi-purpose knife option. This thing is pretty awesome. Super small blade, but it's got a fairly full-size handle. You can see I always wear extra large gloves, and even my freakishly oversized palms. Seriously, I'm 5'10" and I can easily palm a basketball. Anyway, my freakishly large palms are actually filled out pretty well by this knife. So I've been very impressed with it as a, at least for comfort and whatnot. I haven't really had a chance to take it out in the woods and really put it to the paces. But anyway, it's pretty rare that I get an order that is just so cool that I have to post different videos for each part of the order, but this is one of them. So this is going to Sebastian out in California, and I think on my Instagram post I had said in Florida. I'm not sure why I thought that, but he's in California. And anyway, he ordered this really sweet rig. So this is obviously the Eldris. It's all black carbon fiber riding on a tech lock, and you know me, I always set it up so you can do tech lock in multiple positions. So this guy will be obviously vertical and horizontal, and I'm pretty sure you can find a pretty good canted angle for cross draw. So one quick disclaimer on that: if you are going to change the angle, so horizontal and vertical, they're very easy to switch because you just rotate the belt clip 90 degrees and still use the same positions on the grid. So as you're looking at it from here, you're always still going to use the bottom outside corners. So when you rotate this tech lock upward, you're still going to use the two holes that are down here to line up and have that vertical position, or rather horizontal. This is a vertical setup right now. But if you cant it, then it becomes a little bit more complicated because not terribly complicated, but one of the things with this particular sheath is it's so small. So this was a challenge to get everything on here because you can't you can't make it infinitely thick. You have to limit how thick you can make it, so you have to carefully plan where each attachment's going because your hardware is only so long, and you have to get the belt clip on there as well. So you can see that the belt clip is currently sharing it's sharing one of the holes with this flashlight holder, and there is a hole that is just going through the sheath, not through any attachments, and that's the bottom one. So when you cant it, you're going to have to find a different position and just figure out how the hardware is going to have to go. So you do have different length hardwares plugged into this, so you might have to pull them out and just mix and match. So anyway, it's a puzzle every time you change something with a sheath like this, just because of how small it is and how they're, you know, the attachments. Normally I have multiple positions that you could find an attachment to put in, but these are all very specifically where they have to go to make this work. So anyway, let's get into what this thing has on it. So obviously, riding along the top, we have a AAA battery, and I did just a little tiny cutout so that you'd be able to push the battery up further, get a good grip with your fingers, and draw that sucker out. It's in there pretty snug, so I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to fall out on you. But the amount of battery sticking out the top there right now, I can't really, I mean, I've got sausage fingers, so maybe it's just me, but I can't really get it to come out the top, so I have to use that little finger push to get enough grip on it, and then it's pretty easy. I did originally make this so that you could push it out the bottom, which may have been a better choice, but then I got to thinking, just in case there is a battery out there that has like a slightly thinner outer plastic layer on it, you know, the little plastic wrap they put around them, just in case. I didn't want Sebastian to end up like plugging one of those in and have it be loose enough where it could slowly start to come out as he's, you know, walking or running or whatever. So what I actually did to the bottom, you can kind of see it, is I just lightly heated these two corners up and I folded them in just ever so slightly. So now it's a one-way draw. So I mean, I'm sure with enough force you could push that out the bottom, but it really doesn't want to go out the bottom. It feels like it very naturally bottoms out where that's at. Obviously, it doesn't matter if you put it in negative or positive side up. I've just been doing positive side up because why not? Alright, so you got a AAA battery. Why is there a AAA battery? Well, because that is what the MicroStream takes. So this Streamlight MicroStream, one of my favorite small flashlights, he asked me for on this. He actually sent me all of the attachments. Most of them I think were still like in packaging, like he had them shipped to me or something, or maybe he ordered them brand new and then boxed it up and shipped it. But actually, yes, he did. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and give Sebastian a shout out. I know it's all his stuff, his video, but he packaged everything. He had 2 separate orders and he like wrapped it all into, you know, specifically this is what's going on this one, wrapped up, packaged, labeled, and then the same thing for the other one. So that made my life really easy. Thank you for that, Sebastian. Alright, anyway, so Streamlight MicroStream on here. It's pretty snug, but it's actually surprisingly smooth. I say that as I get it snagged on something. It seems to be really strange, but if you try to like twist the light in there, sometimes you'll find spots where it like hangs up. I really don't understand. So I think that must be the Kydex, because this looks very round. But in any event, at just about any angle, you can comfortably get it all the way through, resting on the belt clip, or you can stop it wherever you like. It seems to want to stop at just about any location, so that means there's good even tension all the way through. It is a 2-way holster. You can have it positioned either way. For all intents and purposes, I thought it made more sense just to, I would put it in like that with the lens facing downward, but that's just me. So, okay. So we got the AAA, that's a backup battery for the Streamlight, and then we have the ever popular Exotac Fire Rod. So this guy is an excellent ferro rod. I would highly recommend to anybody who's considering buying one, buying a ferro rod. This is, in my opinion, one of the best on the market. They go for around $23 to $25 depending on the color you select, but they're really cool because they have a little cap on top, and inside is a little tinder compartment, so you can put some cotton, whatever, you know, fat wood splinters, something. You can store a little bit of tinder in there, just enough to get a fire going. And then the rod itself, when it starts to run out and you get low, you can actually just buy replacement rods, and they're not quite 25. I don't remember how much they are. Probably like 15 bucks. But you can just screw those into the handle that you already have. So it's a really nice little system. So Exotac all the way. They make excellent gear. And so this one, you also have the option of mounting from either side, and I regret to say it actually is easier to operate if you put the handle off the tip, but it looks nicer and it's all more compact if you have the handle over here. The reason why it's easier the other way is because this way it kind of does come in minor contact with one of the Chicago screws down at near the mouth of the sheath, so it's just a little extra pressure. It makes it a little harder to draw, but you can actually just, I wouldn't grab the end of the shot cord because you'll probably snap it and break a finger or something, but you can grab the shot cord a little bit to assist in drawing it out this way. And obviously, as soon as you start wearing that rod down, it's going to be a lot easier. You'll just basically take the shot cord off and lightly pull it off and it'll be fine. So, in any event, this got a lot of love on Instagram, so I wanted to share it, give you guys a really good look at it here. I know 10 minutes is a lot to talk about one little EDC sheath, but I think this thing came out great, and it's got just about everything you need on it for, you know, just your daily usage. I'm not sure the ferro rod I'd consider like an EDC item, but certainly the light and the battery, and it's always nice to have a nice little fixed blade on you. So anyway, the new style that I've been working with on all of my, well, not all of them, but most of the sheaths that I do for knives with rubberized handles, I'm trying to do something where it's not necessarily a click, because I'm avoiding having the Kydex grip it really firmly, since that does erode your handle over time. So I just try to do more of like a tapered entry. You can hear it kind of whisper into place, and you can definitely feel it bottom out. And you still get all the same benefits of click retention. The only thing you don't get is hearing the click, which I get. I love the click. But this isn't going anywhere. That's in there really solid. It survived my shake test. You get, obviously, a ballistic one-handed draw. And it's not hard to resheath or anything. Maybe you can hear it a little bit. There's just that little tiny whisper as it goes into it. But anyway, like I said, the reason I'm doing that is because there are a lot of knives that have rubberized handles. Mora, Garborg, Mora, Eldris. But most of Mora's, to be honest. A lot of cold steels. And I've been getting a lot of those lately. And the thing about them is just that the inner smooth surface of Kydex grips against the rubber on these sheaths, on these handles, really aggressively. And as you slide them back and forth and make contact, it slowly starts to create wear marks and then eventually starts to rub it off. It's like a pencil eraser, essentially. So you're wearing it down, and eventually you will wear your handle to the point where it becomes loose in the sheath. I mean, it would take probably several thousand draws to make that happen, but I don't want to go in that direction at all. So I'm just kind of doing a tapered entry, meaning it's a little bit wider at the mouth and just slightly pinches in. So as you push it in, it becomes tight, but not in the same aggressive way. It doesn't have a hot spot that it has to overcome and get past for click retention. And the tightest point is where it's going to stop anyway. So it's not rubbing at that point. It just kind of gets there and stops. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. But I can tell just by looking at the rubber handles after making one of these versus making it with click retention that I was doing before, that this will never damage your handles. So that's why I'm going with that. So alright guys, that is all I have for you. I hope you like this sheath. If you do, hit that like button. If you like my channel, subscribe. It survived. If you like the channel, subscribe and comment down below. Let me know what you think of this. What is your favorite EDC item on this sheath? I would imagine it's probably going to be the MicroStream, since well, that was a stupid question. Don't answer that question. Anyway, let me know what you like about this, what you don't like about it, what you'd like to see on it, and what your thoughts are on the Mora Eldris. Alright guys, share it with all your buddies, and thanks for tuning in for all my ramblings. Stick around for the next one. God bless.